So my friends, this is the Sony XH90 or the X900H in the US. This is one of the most anticipated TVs of the year because this is an LED TV for a reasonable price which will offer HDMI 2.1 and therefore give you 120Hz at 4K. And it will offer you variable refresh rate. Now this is the unboxing and setup video. Stick around, we've got lots more videos on this TV to come, but let's get started. Don't forget to hit the red button to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up and click the notification bell to get my next video first. Now just for full transparency, we have gone out and purchased this TV. We can say what we want about it. We will be completely honest. We are not beholden to anyone. Now in the future, we're going to be trying to do this with more and more TVs. And what we've promised that we'll do is let you know where something has been supplied by a manufacturer. But we're going to be trying to purchase the devices ourselves. Now it does help the YouTube algorithm if you were to give this video a like and maybe make a comment. And let us know, maybe a thumbs up if you would like all of our reviews to be completely 100% independent where the products are not supplied by the manufacturer. And also give us a thumbs up if you would like us to do a giveaway at some point. Okay, so what you've seen us take out so far are the feet, the cables and the instructions. One little tip for you if you're setting the TV up by yourself is before you remove the outer packaging, lean it down on the box that you've taken it out of, and this way you can easily install the feet. Just trim away from the protective covering and you've got access to the holes which the feet pop into. Now the feet on this TV are brilliant. They're made of aluminium, they look really sleek and really smart. Very, very simple, but they look like they do the job and they're solid. They look very, very good indeed. And another feature I really like is they literally just pop straight in. Okay, so we've got the TV up on the stand and we're just removing the remaining packaging. As you can see, it's that black, almost textured type material. It's not great to look at, but it's okay. It is the back of the TV after all. All of the connections, which we'll run through a little bit later, are on the right-hand side of the TV, and the power management is on the left, and I'll show you that in just a second. One thing this TV has is VESA screw adapters which come with it, which you screw into the 4 holes and then adapt your mount to it. Now this is 30 centimeters or 1 foot is a standard VESA mount. Now this TV has loads and loads of plastic attached to it, but strangely not any that goes right across the front of the screen. However, this is a Sony TV and I think it looks brilliant, but hey, let's now spend the next 10 minutes getting rid of all that packaging. But don't worry guys, I've sped this up for you. Now believe me guys, that will take longer than you think, removing all those fiddly little bits of plastic. But once you do, you've got a great looking TV. This measures 70mm in depth, and so therefore that's just under 3 inches, around about 2.7 inches. And I think that that's about right for an LED TV. You can't really expect it to be any smaller. Now as I said, the back isn't much to look at, but when you spin it around the front, it's great. Now bear in mind, if you're purchasing this TV, it's got quite a wide footprint. The 55-inch version comes in at 41 inches or 1 meter and 5. The 65-inch version is 44.5 inches or 1 meter and 12. And the depth on both of these is just over 13 inches, which is around 33 centimeters. So you'll need to make sure that you've got the appropriate stand for this to fit on. I wouldn't want you to have a too small a stand and your TV fall off. Now I mentioned about the power cable. Unlike the LG model which we looked at recently, the CX range, this does have a separate power cord, which is always nice to see, and the cable length of that is 1.5 meters. Now with the accessories, you don't get too much actually. It's quite surprising for Sony. Normally they throw the whole kitchen sink in. There's the standard Sony controller, which those of you that are familiar with Sony products will probably think is still a little bit clunky. It feels like a new arm. It's very lengthy indeed. However, it does serve its function, and it's got those shortcut buttons as well for the Google Play Store and for Netflix. It would have been nice to see a Prime button on there also. These are the mounts if you're going to be wall mounting it, and you've got a minimal, and I mean very minimal, cable management tie clips. And you've also got the instructions, which you probably won't read. Be honest, let me know whether you will, but I certainly won't. Now, when it comes to connectivity, this is where there is some good and some not so good news. You do have things like Apple AirPlay and Apple HomeKit, and you've got Chromecast already built in. The great news with this, as I alluded to right at the very beginning, is this is going to support HDMI 2.1, 4K 120, EARC, variable refresh rate and ALLM. But it appears that none of those are available at the moment. Most TVs which have been released so far have not had the firmware update to enable those features. Again, if you've got this TV and it has, then please do let us know. But this is something which should come, hopefully, within the next few weeks. This is going to be particularly important when the new consoles come out later on this year. But it's a great feature to have, it's just that most people will probably not be able to use it straight away. Anyway, setting this thing up is very simple. I'm going to be setting it up firstly just with a standard digital aerial and also with an HDMI port. And I do recommend that you plug everything that you're going to be using in first. You will then need to just turn the TV on, and it will probably ask you to run through different software updates, one for the remote control, and also it may ask you to do an update. Now, different people have had different models of this, and some of them I think have had reviewers models, and therefore it didn't go through an automatic setup. However, mine did. It went through the standard setup completely simply. It does take about 10 to 15 minutes, but as soon as you're connected to the internet, you'll be able to run through all of those standard screens, and it is pretty straightforward. Now, one of the things that makes Sony TVs, and particularly the latest range of TVs, far better in terms of software than some of the LG or the Samsung range is the fact that you've got Android TV built in. So effectively, you've got something similar to an NVIDIA Shield already built into the TV. Now, it might not have the same function or do the same powerful gaming as an NVIDIA Shield, but it will deal with a whole load of apps that you just will not be able to get on an LG or a Samsung TV. Now, for instance, I'm going to install my GSE Smart IP TV. I'm going to install Plex. You can even install Kodi directly to this TV, and it will work like a dream. Now, I will go through all of those features and how well they work or don't work, whether it's slow, clunky. I don't think it's going to be, but I'll go through all of those in my full review, which will be coming over the course of the next maybe week, 10 days. So guys, we're nearly at the end, and it's a fairly smooth process. I would say though it's not as good as the Samsung process. I really like the way Samsung asks you to set up your digital TV channels first and any of your plug-in things, and then it goes in the background installing all of those channels and setting them up while you're then connecting to the internet and installing your apps, for instance. Whereas this, we've done all of those other things and now we're scanning for channels. But I'm just going to whiz through that, and as you can see, it's now set up. So this is the interface that you're greeted with, and again, it's very familiar to those of you that have either had this type of TV before or maybe have used an NVIDIA Shield. This does come with AirPlay 2, and so you can set that up, but again, we'll go through that in the full review. You've obviously got all of your apps already preloaded, and you've got the App Store that you can go to, but there is no Apple TV at the moment, although I am hearing that that is likely to come literally in the next few weeks. I believe that by the end of September, all of these newer range of Sony TVs should have Apple TV app already installed. Now, don't draw too much inference from the pictures that you're seeing on the screen. This is the retail demo that they provide you with, and again, it's oversaturated, the colors are ridiculous, and it's far too bright. But we'll go through picture settings maybe another time. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a big fan of the feet, but I'm also a massive fan of the thin bezels right the way around this TV. It does look very classy, and it almost does look typically Sony. One thing I'm less keen on though is the single button operation of the menu controls underneath the Sony name. I far prefer a joystick operation with maybe 2 or 3 buttons that you can actually press, but you probably will get used to it, and I guess you won't use it very often. Now, when you press the home screen, you go back to the main Android interface, and this is very clear, it's well laid out, and it's very easy to operate. Now, I'm going to be doing a separate video about how this works and how you can change it and personalize it and how to get the best out of it. So again, if you're interested in that, then make sure you stick around. Now, the one thing that this TV was really bad at was its initial picture straight out the box. Now, unusually for a TV, mine came as standard in vivid mode, which is really quite bizarre because I don't know anyone that would have their TV in vivid mode, and this is it. It's too bright, it's too garish, the colours are far too oversaturated. But again, we'll go through and how you can change the best colour settings for your TV on another video. Now, obviously, depending on where you are in the world will depend on what software is installed in terms of the free view services that are available. Here in the UK, it's the UView service, and that works great, and the operation was sleek, fast, and minimal, and I do like it. It's something which is particularly good in the UK. Now, this next clip will give you an indication of how terrible the vivid mode is. Look at that, it is just unwatchable, but you can just change that very quickly. If you go into standard mode, it will give you a far better image straight away. But again, we'll go through all the different settings and what you can tweak this to get the best out of it on another video. So my friends, that's it for this video. That is the unboxing and initial setup. We've got a few more videos coming on this TV. We'll also compare it to some of the other best TVs available at the moment, so make sure you're around for those. Thanks as always, my friends, for watching this video. I do hope it's been useful for you, and if this is a TV that you're thinking of getting, well then, what questions do you have? Let me know in the comment section and I will do my very best to answer them for you.